Hello, magical beings. Are we all here? How are you guys? Say hello. I want to see who we have on. Let me just get my notes. Where are you streaming in from? Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Meg. Robin's folding laundry again while she watches. I love it. Very strategic. Hello, Facebook. Okay, how's my connection? I had to go old school wiring in my computer, if you can believe that. We're having a lot of issues with Wi-Fi over here. Are you guys seeing me okay? Hearing me okay? Good morning. Somebody let me know we are good to go. Nice to see you all on live. Facebook is choppy? Okay. I'm gonna try to keep rolling. I mean, I can tell when it kind of goes choppy because I talk to myself. As you know, if you've ever done a Facebook Live, you are talking to yourself. It's actually, it's cool. How many of you guys have done mirror work? Like you understand the power of we see the world through how we are, right? So when we are speaking love and light into the community and into the screen, we're actually like talking to ourselves too, right? It's kind of cool. Hold on. I'm going to turn down my tunes a little bit. All right. Yeah, let's just keep going. I'll probably be clear in and out. So I'm excited to be here with you guys to do super raw, super real Q&A live today. Like today we are going to go old school like we did a couple years ago on Periscope. How many of you started tuning into this when I used to stream over on Periscope and it was just like questions, just, fast, from the heart. That's what I want to tap into today. So I'm not even looking at the queue today. I'm not even looking at what questions have come in. We're going to keep this real and raw. So if you have a question today, what I encourage you to do is once you type it, hit copy so you can paste it so I see it and I'll kind of just fire away. But before we get to that, please don't post questions yet. Welcome if you're brand new. This is a weekly broadcast that I do streaming on Facebook Live on the Whole Fit brand page. Also over on Instagram, hello. And then I upload it to YouTube and to iTunes after. So there's lots of different ways you can play. But I love, love, love when you join live because I do this for you. And so when you show up live and can bring your energy and your questions to this space, it totally changes the conversation, right? So I wanted to open up with a few things. Earlier this week on Instagram, I shared an image of a day in the life. A lot of you have written me and your questions are asking, what does that look like for me? And so I posted that for you. So if you want to hop over to Instagram, you can see what that looks like for me. It was actually prompted because of the Ready, Set, Glow detox that I do. The detox crew were asking, how do I personally flow the detox in my life? And then what do I do after? And so I decided to share that on Instagram. So you can go check that out. As I mentioned last week, this is Green Cleaning Month. We're doing a huge focus on that. Whether you are part of our community or somebody just interested in becoming healthier in your home, there's going to be a ton of content and inspiration available to you the week of May 21st to the 28th. And if you are in doTERRA, there's going to be a lot of education and recipes shared in the community groups and on the doTERRA Facebook page. If you are part of our Whole Fit community in the oils group, I'm going to be sharing a lot in there, but I'm also planning to show up live every day on Insta and in the oil group to take you room by room each day that week, cleaning it up. I'm going to show you the recipes that we use in our home. I have not bought a single cleaner in our home for well over 5 years. So I'm going to teach you how we do it. One of the things I want you to understand, when you clean up the cleaning chemicals in your home, okay, this is like a super easy place for people to start. I want you to watch what happens next. You will find suddenly everyone's a little happier in the home. Suddenly your airways are clearer. Suddenly the headaches go away. And all of a sudden you feel excited to take on other things. So it starts there for a lot of people. Tap the screen or raise your hand if this was where you started. Because it's just, It's not overwhelming, and you don't need to be bringing all of that garbage into your home. The Environmental Working Group, like 10 years ago, came out and said, hey, our inside air quality is at least 5 times more polluted than the outside air. How many of us actually would even think that when we walk in the doors to our home, we want to feel safe, right? We want to feel peaceful. We want to feel love in our homes. That's what we're going for, right? Yet we have these things we're bringing into our home and spending a lot of money doing it that are distracting our vitality, okay? So a lot of you are saying, yes, this is where you started. So let's get really excited about this topic because it's going to change a lot of lives. And as I said, I'll be showing up daily that week, May 21st to the 28th, and I'm going to give you everything I've got on this topic and teach you room by room. Now, on that note, what I'm also going to do next week's broadcast, if you want to write this down in your calendar, what's the date of that? That would be May 20, no, what's next week? 9 plus 7. May 16th, I'm going to be doing a healthy home tour. It's going to be 1 hour. I'm going to have Chris recording, and he's going to follow me through our house. And I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff I show you on this tour will be things you put on your vision board, like a cultivator to grow your microgreens or an infrared sauna. We're going to take you through room by room, and I want to help you see where your life might be headed, to having everything in your home to create health and happiness. And I'll expose you to some of the cleaners that I have in each room, but the deep dive will be May 21st to the 28th. The last thing I want to share with you guys, and I'll mention this again in the next 2 weeks, May 23rd is going to be the last Q&A, last Whole Fit Talks broadcast I'm doing for the summer, okay? So I'm taking the summer off. I'll be back September 5th, okay? So if you want to write those in your calendar, and I'll continue to show up on Insta Stories quite a bit. It's my favorite way to share. Do you guys love it? I mean, I love following certain people and seeing little snippets of their day, and I'll continue to show up there and share education and lifestyle snippets, of me. I usually post 3 to 5 times on there a day, just giving you a little glimpse into our life. So feel free to follow along there during the summer. The other thing I was going to mention was tonight, so May 9th, over on Instagram, I'm going to be posting a super awesome, fun giveaway. It's going to celebrate doTERRA's 10 years creating this powerful movement, because they just hit their 10-year birthday. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. And I want to do a giveaway around it. And there's a couple of really awesome articles I want to link up for you guys to understand what's going on. So, I mean, even if you're, just here hanging out with us and want to just increase the vibe, and that's why you show up every week. So even if you're not in doTERRA or using the oils, I think you'll really appreciate the work they're doing to make our world a better place. And there was a phenomenal article. Jill, if you could please post it. I shared it yesterday on my personal Facebook profile. It's of one of the founders of doTERRA, Emily Wright. How many of you have heard of her? She's one of 7 founders at the top of doTERRA. And honestly, the culture of doTERRA begins there with those 7 leaders who shaped what we experience today. Millions and millions of people across the world using these oils. Many people being part of this movement, sharing them and building the business and creating this global healthcare model. It's amazing. And it started with them, and Forbes did an interview with her and an amazing article yesterday. We're linking it up right now. If you're on Instagram and want to check this out, I created a shortened link to it. It's bit.ly/Emily Forbes. You've got to read it. It's so powerful, you guys. I mean, nothing makes me more excited than seeing a woman just completely lit up in her purpose and strong in her integrity and foundation, knowing what's most important and giving us her best. And that's Emily Wright. And I'm so grateful and honored, and I feel so privileged to be in this work and to know women like her. And I want you guys to read the article simply to understand this is why. Okay, and we're approaching Mother's Day this week. I'm going to close out today just sharing my thoughts on how the world is being shaped today through women and through mothers. So anyway, okay. Are we ready? Let's go. So fire away. What I'm going to do here today, we've got hundreds over on Facebook and Instagram. As I see questions come in, I'm going to speak right from the heart, and I'm going to keep it short. And anything you want to ask, whatever. I'm an open book. I'm here to guide and to serve, and I'm going to stay on with you guys till 10 to 1. All right. Lizzie said, okay, you guys are firing in the questions. So I'm going to do my best here. Remember, copy your question, get ready to paste it if I don't answer it. Lizzie, first question, what are your thoughts on prenup type agreements with new builders? My upline uses them, but now that I have a small team, I'm leading near silver. I wouldn't sign that now, so I don't feel I should ask that of others. Well, you're right, Lizzie. I think you need to follow your gut. I've never done this, and we have a massive team. In my opinion, if somebody's going to build, they're going to build. If they're not, they're not. And I don't expect a single thing from anybody. So I do disagree with that approach. This is volunteer, this work. If you want to build a business and totally change your life with doTERRA, go for it. But you are not expected to do that. And less than 10% of people actually do it. So no, I would not encourage you to do that, especially if your gut's telling you it's not a good call. Learn to trust that intuition early on. Sandra said, thanks for all you do, Ange. I wanted to get a glimpse into what you cover in a business overview when someone wants to learn more about the business of doTERRA. I send them the build guide, plain and simple, because the build guide basically is going to take them through just what's their why are they drawn to this work, and what could doTERRA create for them in terms of freedom and impact and influence, and is there a financial goal attached to that? Is it time management? It helps them really assess that. And then we might have a call if they're super engaged and fired up, but I still enroll them as a customer. I don't want them enrolling as a business builder right away, because they need to heal first before they offer that up. And I hope you understand what I mean by that. If somebody is not willing to educate themselves on what we are actually doing through empowering people, if they're not willing to go through at least a 3-month period of time to understand that, they have no business thinking they're going to do a business. You know, they need to be very clear on what this work is. Okay. Lizzie, long question. Systems, could you share specifics about what systems you have in place to welcome new customers? And just so you know, over on Instagram, I'm probably going to see your question a little easier over on Facebook because it stays, right? But I will scroll there. Okay, I'll come back there. Systems, could you share specifics about what systems you have in place to welcome new customers? I'm a gold, and I'm finding that I'm spending upwards of 5 hours per new customer on the phone over their first couple of weeks. Yeah, you're right. That is way too much time, and of theirs. I feel like it's partly me not trusting that they will be resourceful on their own. So systems and solutions will free me from that. I'm just trying to get to the, okay, she's tried different things like the Chloe app. She's heard of Oil Camp, but doesn't have an upline doing that, doesn't know. Yeah, so there is definitely an opportunity. I actually have a call with some of my favorite presidential diamonds in doTERRA right after this one today. This is something we are very aware of, that, you know, Empowered Success launched on doTERRA.com, and all the guides are there, but we do need some kind of easy progression system. So that's actually my call today, right after this one. But I think to start off with, you're right, that's way too much time for you and them. You mentioned that you feel like maybe it's you just not trusting that they'll be resourceful. Resourcefulness, Tony Robbins said this, it's the #1 reason people fail is because they are not resourceful. There can be every resource under the sun available to you, but if you're not somebody who can develop a focused mind and focus on what you need, and I mean, everything's there. This is why you see some people like, man, I'm so stuck, right? And then you see people just, because they know how to be resourceful. They grow, they take action every day. And so the people that you're worried are not going to be resourceful, don't worry about them. Like customers, you know, of course, there's a lot of information of how they can change their life with the oils, and the oils will change their life in many, many ways. But you need to let them have their journey, right? The thing is, the work that we do, it heavily revolves around prevention and lifestyle. It takes time. It's not a lose 10 pounds in 5 days kind of advertising. That's very appealing in some other industries to target people when they're weak. So when a woman wakes up and she feels like she gained 10 pounds overnight and she sees a post on Instagram advertising that with this product, they will lose 10 pounds overnight. Hook, line, and sinker, right? But the work that we do heavily revolves around ownership, self-care, taking responsibility for your health, right? This takes time, and so you need to trust, that the information's there. Check in with people. This is a business of connection and relationships. So whatever your format is, you'll figure it out. I think you need to maybe ask your customers, what would you appreciate? How often would you like me to check in with you? What form would that take? Facebook groups, an email campaign that you create? Thank you, Danielle Lane. That's very sweet. Julia, advice for what to do now for a rank up month in July. Awesome. Well, get your health in check. So whenever somebody tells me that they're going to be going for a new goal in their business or in anything, they need to be feeling their best that month. So time to cut sugar, time to get some good sleep, time to cut distractions and anything off your calendar that's not going to support your goal. People, processed food, processed people all need to go. And then you get very clear on what it's going to take to hit that goal. So if you're planning a new rank in your doTERRA business, you're doing at least 1.5 times what you think you're going to need in order to achieve that. So let's say you're going for a new rank and you want to get out there and share the oils with a certain amount of people, plan to share it with at least that times 1.5, okay? So it's really about focus. I love the opportunity to go to the next level in anything. It invites us to tap into our highest self, and you come out of that month a different person, okay? So honor it and respect it for what it really is. This is not about anybody else but you, owning that growth and watch what happens, right? Hi, Robin, thank you. She said, my shirt is sweet. It is from, I can't remember. I kind of remembered. Where is it from? It's probably Zara. I don't know. Hold on. Try to mirror. Oh, it's J. Crew. It's J. Crew. Ruffles. Okay, let me hop over to Instagram and take a few questions over there. Mirror said, what is your best advice for calling in leaders? Going silver to gold. Calling in leaders. Not sure what you mean. Do you mean getting the group together, getting aligned? If you're not doing it, weekly calls with everybody and model your action for them. S'mores, what are your feelings about giving out samples for people? I don't do it anymore. I don't think it's effective. Back a couple years ago, I shouldn't say it's not effective. It can be effective if you are qualifying people properly for them, gauging the people that just are looking for free stuff everywhere in the world, or the people that just genuinely have been researching oils for a long time and they need to experience the effectiveness and purity of doTERRA. You need to gauge that somehow. So if you're going to give a sample out, you have a conversation first around what are their goals? Why do they want to try this doTERRA? And would it be okay if you followed up with them a week later to see how it went? And they need to know give them the information of how they can get started right away with that as well. Don't be the person just giving samples out to everybody. There's a lot of people in the world that are just looking for free things, right? Hands out. They expect something from the world. So you'll come up against those people if you just do a sample blast. Well, Shannon said, what keeps you focused when working from home? I keep myself focused. I have routines and triggers around my time block. Go back and listen to the Whole Fit Talks episode called Becoming a Habit Architect, I think it was. I go through a lot of my routines and rituals around that. I'm hyper-focused. And this is something that took time. I wasn't always this way, trust me. But now I'm just super committed to showing up and giving my best to whatever I'm doing. And so I'm clear on that. And it does start the night before. I'm very clear on what the next day is going to look like. Okay, last one over on Instagram for now. Verbiage for asking people to host a class. Make it all about them. Ask them what they would love to learn and what their people would love to learn. You can teach a lot of different types of classes, but the best way for somebody to learn is to host a class themselves. They get their people together in their cozy home. You've got your box of oils and you make it all about them. It's actually pretty awesome to be able to host an oil class and have you show up and guide somebody. So really speak the value of what they're actually getting through that. Okay, a lot of you commenting. Michelle, have you bought ranks for diamond and above? A few times, only when I need product to run giveaways. So I'm not a fan of, like, sometimes people will buy a lot of extra product to hit a new rank in their business the first time. That can happen if it's part of a strategic plan. If you're planning to invest that extra product you're purchasing. But here's the thing, in doTERRA, you should rarely see that somebody is sitting on, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars of inventory. That's like the old school, what happened. Like, I actually still know people like this in other companies who have like a garage full of product. No, like, no, you do not need to be doing that. And it can also create a false sense of arrival. So I think you want to be mindful that if you are going to buy a lot of product to achieve a new goal, you have a plan in place for the next 3 to 6 months to not be doing that again. Rachel, do you have a follow-up letter for those that may have slipped through the cracks before you had a system in place? Yeah, I mean, I don't have a script or anything, but once in a while I'll do, like, if doTERRA has a really awesome promo like this month, right? Anybody who enrolls with a Home Essentials kit, let's say, they get really great stuff for free through doTERRA. So I treat months like this as a connection month. And I tend to connect back with like everybody I've enrolled. And I let them know, you know, what we have available now, if it's changed since they enrolled. So good practice. Okay, cool. Answered that, Julia. Answered that, Meredith. Hi, Ingrid. Michelle answered that. Leanne Ross wants to know more about my standing desk. I actually just linked it up in the shop tab of wholefit.com. So Jill, if you could link that up for me quick. It's called Veridesk, Veridesk, and I absolutely love it. I spend half my day standing and the other half sitting. I don't think it's smart to do either all day. Not good for your joints, not good for your back. So I tend to spend the first half of my day standing, and then the second block of time I'm sitting. Okay, Alex said, as doTERRA moves out of the early adoption phase and is becoming a more commonplace solution in conversation, what fears, if any, do you have about our shift into the next level of healthcare? I have zero fears about this. I'm super pumped and excited. No fear at all. I just want more and more people to become empowered and have access to the tools and be able to make a choice to stay on either side of the line. I've talked about this before. The difference today is information is out there. So there's no reason why somebody should stay sick and stuck if they're committed to living their best life. There's a lot of people that haven't turned that light on yet. So with a lot more exposure to it, and everyone has their wake-up call at some point. Not everybody knows that they have options. So I'm very excited, and I have zero fear about that. Amy said, do you have a simple way to explain the options for someone to get started with doTERRA? I mean, in terms of helping them understand retail versus wholesale, choosing a kit. If you want to go take a look at my Getting Started guide, you'll notice the language I use there. I never want somebody buying oils at retail price. That'd be ridiculous. So I don't even talk about it. And I definitely want everyone to have their own wholesale account. You don't want to be that annoying person calling your friend to hop in the back of their van to go to Costco because you don't have your own Costco account. You know what I mean? I treat this the same way. Everybody needs to have their own account if they are truly committed to living their best life. It's like, don't be that person who's always calling somebody saying, hey, when are you putting in an order? That just means that you aren't set up. You are not bringing the life force tools into your home. Would you do that with somebody with groceries or meal? Like think about the energy of that, right? So I use a lot of language, like when I'm guiding people, I do know what's best for them. And so if you want to check my guide out, it's a bit.ly/HF get started. And you can see what I do. Bria, when you moved to your new home or city, what was the first thing you did to integrate yourself into the new community and meet new people? I attended an amazing mom and baby class at Rebirth Wellness in London. It was a Pilates class right away. That was one of the first things I did was I looked up what are the health promoting things here in London. And I went and I actually ended up becoming their stroller boot camp instructor, personal trainer, in-house nutritionist. One thing led to another, and a lot of the amazing women that I met through that experience are with me still today in coaching and in our doTERRA team. So that's one of the first things I did. I mean, obviously, I'm somebody like super into the health scene, so I looked up what that looked like here in London. Those are the people I want to meet. So I think moving to a new city is incredible for just your business, your life, meeting new people. It's a fresh start. I was a brand new mom. In fact, Emerson was only a week old when we moved here. It was my second C-section. Hers was planned. Chloe's wasn't. The C-section, the pregnancy was planned. So I moved here, second C-section on my body. Emmy's a week old, new house, didn't know anybody here. We moved for Chris's job because he's a firefighter here. So, there was a lot of reasons I could have looked at and thought, oh, this is going to be heavy, but it was the best thing we ever did. So don't worry about it if you are moving somewhere new or if you're somewhere new. It can be a great opportunity. Okay, Tiffany said, I know you had 2 to 3 classes a week to build to diamond fast. Can you share how you were able to set up that many classes and not get burnt out? I take very good care of myself. I think if you have to do what works for you. I also, Chris, because of his schedule in the fire department, we were able to really work with that. So he works 2 24-hour shifts a week. So therefore he's home 5 nights a week. So, it was a conversation between him and I, basically me saying, hey, babe, the next 2 years are going to be very busy for us. Are you in this with me? And he was part of that vision the whole time. And we had those weeks where I was teaching 3 to 4 classes and it was a lot, right? But I had a big dream on my heart and I knew what it was going to take in order to be at the front of this movement. So I was very committed to that. So you need to decide that for you. In terms of burnout, only you know what you can do. But I think, again, this comes back to you owning your health and your vitality. You need to take care of yourself and be very focused. And as soon as possible, cut out the packaged food and packaged people. See what's possible. But treat it like a team. Your family's your team. And you're doing this together. Ask for help when you need it. Christine, hello. And what are some tips you have for breaking down a block of having fear and judgment from others? How to increase confidence? Yeah, this is a really common one that people face, right? Worried about what people might think of them. I've encouraged you before to understand that the very people you're worried about are actually the people keeping you stuck with them, right? They're stuck. They want to keep you stuck. It's very uncomfortable to see someone rise around you when you are not committed to rising yourself. And so you need to understand the game a little bit, and you need to choose to rise above that. Fear and holding ourselves back from living our best life and sharing what we know we're meant to do, what our purpose is, like that message on your heart, your truth, sharing that is very important. Otherwise, I think one of the most tragic things we could ever experience in our life is to go our whole life never being true to who we are. I think that spirals people into a lot of emotional discord, to not be who they are, to arrive at a goal and not even know yourself anymore. I see it a lot, mostly with women. I think that if you understand this, and again, A fear of what people will think of you is a comfortable thought to have. It's helping you not make your next move. And a fear of what people will think is also very rooted in selfishness, actually. I talked about this last week a little bit. I'd like you to understand what fear is and give it more of an ugly face than what you are. Fear is very selfish. Somebody who's very stuck in fear and not giving us their best and not showing up and taking ownership of their life is actually quite obsessed with themselves. They cannot see the pain that the person in front of them is going through. This is important to understand with people who do judge you. If someone is judging you and making it known to you that they're judging you, sometimes it's just you assuming because you are actually judging yourself very much. Gabby Bernstein's book, The Judgment Detox, I think it is, would be very helpful for you if you're struggling with this. But something to understand, if you cannot get past yourself and stay there, it's going to feel heavier for you than actually sharing your heart. So make that move as soon as possible and break free of that and help more people. Tina said, I'm looking to create a podcast. I'm at silver rank and have so much to share from my heart. Would you suggest starting a podcast at this rank? Absolutely. Go for it. It's a lot of work. But if you have a lot on your heart, then, and if that is your format, if you love connecting audio-wise, I think it's great. You guys know this of this show that I take the live stream and I upload it to iTunes. I love video. So it might not be a podcast initially for you because it is a bit of a learning curve for people. I am going to, in the next season, I'm going to share with you guys just my, like a behind the scenes. It's a lot of work. Like I mentioned to you before, when I talked about time blocking, it is a whole day for me, but it is something I'm very committed to doing. So maybe it's Facebook Live to begin with. I would see how that goes, but I would definitely be starting to take, I have like hundreds and hundreds, probably 1,000 Evernotes in my personal library of just, I develop myself like 3 to 4 hours a day through audiobooks or podcasts, and I'm always getting downloads. And again, because I'll share how this happens. When people are owning their vitality and their energy, you will receive very clear downloads of what you need to share with the world. And there's sometimes where I'll just get this download and I have to take notes on it, or I'll share it with my leader team. And it's just like, it's very clear that needs to come through me. And so I think a podcast, at least for me, I have found it's been a great opportunity to have conversations that really matter. You know, like it really matters to me to be here with you and to have these conversations, kind of the backstory of what's going on here, like the life school talk, right? So yeah, I think podcasting is hot. I think it's where people want to be. They're on the go. They're sick and tired of the media and the, you know, all the noise there. So being able to tune into something when they're on the go is really helpful. Hi, Nancy. She said, what do you say to your builders who struggle to find locations to teach classes? Do you recommend doing it online? Yeah, for sure. I think you need to like try a lot of different things and meet people where they're at. We're coming into summertime. So encourage people to meet you at a park and roll out the blankets, bring their kids, and have some like lime gummies or some wild orange energy bites and invite them and learn there. I think the key thing here is you want to stay fresh. Like you want to, in doTERRA, there's like so many different ways you can connect with people. So if people are struggling to book classes, do more one-on-ones, like meet people at Starbucks and just bring your little kit of oils and keep it to 20 minutes. Jennifer, hi. How do you approach a wholesale customer with the option to upgrade? I just check in with my customers at around the 3-month mark, 90-day mark, see how they're doing. I see if they are interested in hosting a class. Because often if somebody's been like really taking care of themselves on a journey with their oils, they've probably been talking about it with people at the office or, you know, a neighborhood or whatever. So there's people in their life that are genuinely interested in knowing what's going on with those oils, right? So that's how I do it. I just offer them the opportunity to host a class. And then if they're interested in that, I do explain that they can upgrade to be a wellness advocate, which for those of you not in doTERRA just means you're now sharing the oils and building a business. Yeah. So I think, again, always come from the heart of making it about them. This is about them, not about you. So yeah, and 90-day mark. I do a check-in with people at like the 30-day mark to see how they're liking their oils, see if they have any questions. And then I do it again around the 90-day mark. Hi, Lindsay. Stephanie, how many storefronts do you personally have enrolled, or chiropractors, physiotherapists, or are the majority of your builders mamas like you? I have personally none right now. I haven't focused on that. I'm actually, next weekend, I'm going to present to a massive hotel chain. So I think, you know, it's not where my interest has been. There's just so much work to do with the people that are right in front of me. So yes, most of my team are either health coaches or mothers who are very interested in like rocking life, right? Like they know, like, you know, some of them have full-time jobs they've left. Some of them are stay-at-home moms with 2 to 4 kids. Like it, you know, just people interested in like doing things very different, kind of flipping everything on its head. Jennifer, okay, I answered that. Amy, as a follow-up question, do you think it's good to have people sign themselves up for a wholesale account? Everybody I enroll signs themselves up. Like, I don't know, over the last 4 years, I've enrolled about 600 people, maybe 3 or 4 of them I actually like enrolled for them. But most people, I just send them my link and they do their thing. Okay, let me just hop over to Insta for a second. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Some of these are cross-posted. I'm just trying to scrub through here. Empower, I can't read your name, doTERRA Essential. Do you have an email series when people sign up with you? Yes, I do, but I don't think people really check it. I think, what do you guys think? Like, is email dead? I mean, I personally, like, please don't ever email me or Facebook message me. I'd rather just help connect you to resources through groups and stuff like that. I just, this is kind of just the level I'm at. I just want to hear from you guys. Do you guys, how do you feel about receiving emails? To me, it feels invasive. I'm like, oh, I don't want another email. Like I stopped sending newsletters about a year ago. I'm not sure it's working anymore. The only thing, I mean, internet marketers are very big still on promoting the idea of growing your list. And the benefit of that is that you kind of like own access to people, right? It sounds kind of weird, but like you do. When you have emails, you own access to them. And if Facebook dies tomorrow, then you still have a way to interact with people. But I actually feel like there's just like social media, if you're on a few different outlets, if Facebook shut down tomorrow, everyone would hop over to Instagram, right? Like it's, I don't know. Email to me is just, I'm not sure it's the way to go. Doesn't feel right. Yeah, Nancy said like only 20 to 30% of people even open newsletters. So I do have it in place, but it's not working. Okay. S'mores is teaching her first class ever, and it's a yoga studio. Any advice? I'll be channeling your energy. Cool. Yoga and oils. Okay, so I would, again, when you're teaching classes, you want to stick to education on the top 10 oils, and really teaching people the top 10 oils are what are going to solve 80% of the healthcare needs that they have. But if you're in a studio like a yoga space, then it'd be smart to bring like the yoga kit that our friend Elena Brower co-created with doTERRA. She actually has a PDF available to teach yoga instructors how to integrate that into their classes. I think you can find that on her website. If we have any, I think, Nancy, so you're on Elena's team. Maybe if you could link that up if it's available. But yoga instructors are very drawn to this. And I know just through talking to Elena about this, they are very beat up, right? Like they've been working very hard. And for many of them, they've been working hard for years and their body is beat up. And it's like traveling all over town to teach classes and making like 30 or 40 bucks a pop. It's like, there's no life there, right? And their heart is to help people in that way. So doTERRA for yoga teachers is very appealing because it integrates so beautifully into the work that they're doing, and it helps to free them up so their impact can be truly experienced in our world, right? Um, okay, some of these I've answered. Hey, Savvy, she said, I'm a high enroller and now I have many wholesale customers who wants to do the biz, which is awesome. I'm sharing launch guide and have steps in the pinned post, but I feel like something is missing. Okay, so I'm sensing that you feel like, okay, you've got all these customers, but they're not wanting to go past that. That's okay. I want you just to like cool it there and not stress over that too much. Offer it up to people that you see that life force potential in, that you know are here to do big things, and that you see it in them. You know, these are typically, when I'm looking at somebody who I know would be great at this business, there's somebody who is already sharing their heart with the world. They're helping people. You know, they're on Facebook, let's say, and they're sharing healthy recipes or the workout they just did. Like, they're coming from this place of service always. They will do phenomenal in doTERRA. But savvy, 90% of people in doTERRA are customers. You know, I'm very focused on taking care of our customers. I'm paying much less attention to our business builders today. In the beginning, I think there was a lot of that, like over giving, over mentoring, hoping people would do things and trying to guide them. And I'm like, that just grosses me out now. I'm all about the customer. Because if people are customers and passionately, you know, they want to help other people, then what you have available to them is awesome. You know, you've got the resources there. It's all there. I think if you stay connected to your customers, eventually people will, you know, pop up and say, hey, how do I do this as a business? Like, they will come. Just have a good system of connecting with people. Okay, one more on Instagram. Alimador, piggybacking on that question, how are you booking that many classes? Referrals? Were you hosting them at your house? I didn't host a class in my own home for a year. I kept making that available to people. The reason this worked for me is because prior to doTERRA, I was like in massive service, massively adding value to people's lives for 5 years before I ever started this. So there were a lot of people that were interested in coming together to learn from me in a home setting. So that worked for me, where I would basically post at the start of a month. I would say, hey, I've got this date, and this date available next month. First come, first serve. Let me know. We'll create a beautiful class experience in your home. If your situation is different from mine, then absolutely ask for referrals. You know, you provide like a nice gift, an incentive. I love to give the Essential Life book to a class host. And then if they have a large class, I'll gift them with product as well if there's somebody not wanting to do the business. Okay. Local Yogi, she just asked quickly, how old were your girls when you first started building? So 4 years ago. So Chloe was 4, Emmy was 2. Hi, Melina Harrison. Okay, I'll come back to Insta. We're gonna go for another 5 minutes, okay? Where did we leave off over here? This is fun. I love the energy of like quick Q&A. Robin said, do you feel, looking back, that it's important to do 2 to 3 classes a week to reach that goal? Yes, for the goals I had. For you, you have to decide what your goal is. It might not be the same as mine, right? I think you need to decide, but the important thing is that you stay consistent with what you decide, right? Like if you say, this is my vision, this is what I want to create, you show up and you do it, even when people don't show up. You own that energy of showing up affects your entire growth. So be the one that shows up and takes action and is consistent based on what you said you were going to do. Dr. Robin said, packaged people is my new favorite phrase. I know, I saw that this morning, and it just really stuck with me. Awesome, nice to have you, Brianna, first time live. Hi, LivePads, nice to see you. Okay, Sheen, hello. Yes, preach, sister. I am a little preachy, aren't I? Melissa, which piece of content, podcast, etc., should I send to a millennial who wants to screw the 9 to 5 and start with doTERRA? Are you a millennial, Melissa? Because if you aren't, I would let that audience go. Millennials want to see and learn from other millennials doing it, okay? So if you are, then I would encourage you to create the content and you share it out. Yeah, Christine, I know that fear, the worry of what people will think is a block for a lot of people. Tina said, I'm at the beginning of those clear downloads and learning how to use that power. You often inspire me, and thank you for your words of wisdom and heart. Serve on. You too, Tina, right on. Gemma loves the summer beach classes. Okay. Yes, all of you are saying email feels dead. Yes, because it does. Okay. Thank you. Nancy linked up Elena Brower's the yoga collection blends, and there's a PDF that goes with that that shows yoga teachers how to incorporate. So if you're over on Instagram, hop over to the Facebook brand page, Whole Fit, and you'll find Nancy Alder linked that up. Thank you, Nancy. B. Swanson said, what's the book on not judging ourselves again? It's by Gabby Bernstein. I think it's called The Judgment Detox. Keely, hi. I'm going to see you shortly. What is your miracle story with your leaders or month end? Just a moment that makes you smile in your business. Yeah, I mean, when you're growing to a new level with your team, it's so exciting because you are rising up, they are rising up. You're all like working together in momentum, and that is the best part of the work we do is seeing people actualize themselves and reach their potential and go further than even what they thought was possible. That's the best part of what we do. Sarah said, would you be able to recommend a more opportune time of day to visit a firehouse in person to discuss essential oils and their benefits with them? I'm hoping to visit in person and then set up an actual meeting. That won't happen because firefighters need to be available on the go, right? Like when that call comes in, they got to drop everything and go. So, I mean, if you have a relative or a friend or somebody who's on the fire department, you could probably find out when they are planning to like have lunch one day and if they are interested in learning. But to be honest, again, with something like this would be more of like a corporate health program. So you'd want to reach out to the city and see if they do lunch and learns or something with HR or whoever to work it that way, right? Hi, Lifehouse. She said, what did you see in doTERRA for yourself when you started? What was I looking for? So are you asking on a personal level? Because I'll share, like my entire life has changed since the day those oils came into our home. Just our personal health and having access to the tools. Like, oh my word, you guys. I mean, every single thing was affected. My kids have never been in a hospital. Every single thing, I've got this feeling of like, okay, cool, I've got this. And that to me is everything. And it trickled into everything I do. My entire work model changed. The reach that I've had, the influence, the opportunity to grow and become better, a better version of myself every day is like, it's incredible. Everything changed. All right, let's do like 2 or 3 more questions. Christina said, will Canadian Warehouse get PB Assist and the kids' vitamins? Yeah, I mean, everything takes a long time to get approved when it's healthy. It's actually funny to me. We have to laugh about this, okay? Let's loosen up about this, but you know, it takes like negative days for a pharmaceutical product to get approved into a country, but it takes a very long time for a health promoting product to get approved. So think what you may about that. It's just the nature of it all, and you know, we're patient, but doTERRA I know is working very hard to have more and more products available in all markets. Like they're opening up in Brazil in June. So they're starting off with oils right now, but you know, every market when it opens, it takes a couple years. Okay. All right. Let me just take one more and then I want to close this out. Insta. Let me see if you have any different questions. Heather said, what's your music list you're listening to? I have music playing all the time in the house. It's on Spotify. If you guys go over and search Ange Peters or Whole Fit, you'll find all my playlists. This is the bath playlist, actually. I like it when I want to chill out. I wanted to be sure we closed out acknowledging all the mothers that are here with Mother's Day coming in a couple of days. Of course, we don't need like a national day to remind us of the power of moms. But I did want to take a moment just to like tip my oil cap to you. You have been the true leaders in our world the whole time. And I want to just extend my appreciation for knowing you and having you here, and so many women on our personally on our team are women and mothers, and so powerful. So I wanted to just end today a few days early, just thanking you, mothers, for all of the good you are circulating in our world through the simple acts of love and health and responsibility you're taking in your own home. Your commitment to your growth and to showing up to be your best has affected us all. I mean, you are the ripple effect. And I just want to really honor you for taking care of yourself. We are all on the receiving end when you do this. We love you and we value you, and you are changing the world, you know, and I'm grateful to know you. I'm grateful to have you in this space. I know so many of you are parents, and what a gift it is. So I hope you take some time this week to know how valued you are, and to take a step away and unplug a little bit and just love on yourself. You deserve all of that. So I wanted to make sure we had a time to just acknowledge the mamas here. Thank you guys for joining. So fun to have you on. So next week, as I mentioned, we'll be doing a healthy home tour. And the week after that will be the last Whole Fit Talks for the summer. Okay, we'll be back September 5th. And I'll see you guys next week. All right? Love, love, love out to all of you.